This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. Today's video is brought to you by Stamps.com. I don't know how many times or for how long I've been talking about the problem with policing in the United States, but it's certainly enough that hopefully some people are waking up to the problem. And I'm not just talking about police brutality or just generally the tone and tenor of racism within police departments all across the country. I'm talking about organized white supremacy. And not just in LA or Atlanta or Philadelphia or New York City. I'm talking about right here in the nation's capital. The Metropolitan Washington, D.C. Police Department has a lieutenant, not a beat cop, not just a rank and file traffic cop, a lieutenant within their ranks who just got indicted on 4 counts related to obstruction of justice and providing false statements to investigators about his communication, his tipping off of the now convicted of seditious conspiracy leader of the Proud Boys, tipping him off to police operations and the likelihood of his arrest. This is a huge, huge problem that someone, and I'm going to read here from this NBC News article, but this indictment is damning. And it should be a wake-up call to everyone in America, but especially within police departments that have people out there dealing with the public with the power of detainment and arrest who have white supremacy sympathies. Remember, stand back and stand by. And now, seditious conspiracy, guilty, going to serve prison sentences, it's a problem. I'm going to read a few paragraphs from this NBC News article that is startling and damning for the DC Police Department. Before I do, a brief word from today's sponsor, Stamps.com. This time of year, it's all about how quickly you can get your work done so you can get out and enjoy the great outdoors. Hiking, gardening, even window shopping. I mean, I'm not much of a golfer, but now is the time to work on my short game. Stamps.com is here to help you get out the door faster. Ship and mail anytime from anywhere, right from your own computer. Send letters and ship packages without even leaving your home. Just set a pickup and your mail carrier will collect everything from your own doorstep. Set your business up for success by signing up today. Head to stamps.com/Dollemore for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a free digital scale. Having a Stamps.com account also saves you money with major discounts on United States Postal Service and UPS shipping rates, up to 84% off. Stamps will automatically tell you what the cheapest, fastest option is. And if you're selling online, Stamps seamlessly connects with every major marketplace and shopping cart. Over 1 million businesses have used Stamps for more than 25 years. Go to stamps.com/Dollemore for a special offer, again, that includes a 4-week free trial, plus free postage and a free digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. If you sign up now at stamps.com/Dollemore, you can spend more time with your chipping and less time with your shipping. So let's get into this indictment here and the news. Here's the NBC News headline. DC police lieutenant indicted with tipping off Proud Boy Enrique Tarrio about arrest. After January 6th, Lieutenant Shane Lamond said he supported the group and didn't, quote, want to see your group's name or reputation dragged through the mud, an indictment alleged. He sent over 500 messages back and forth with Enrique Tarrio, a police officer, someone who has sworn or affirmed to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, domestic and foreign, who also swears to serve and protect. And he's working in concert in some conspiracy to extricate a traitor to our country from consequence. Listen to some of this. A Metropolitan Police Department lieutenant who supervised the intelligence branch of the Washington, D.C. police was indicted this week, charging with tipping off former Proud Boy leader Enrique Tarrio of a pending warrant for his arrest just ahead of the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. Giving all kinds of chances to racists, to Western chauvinists, yet overseeing the brutality of the residents, the actual citizens and residents of Washington, D.C. Tarrio, the former chair of the Proud Boys, was recently found guilty of seditious conspiracy in connection with the Capitol attack, along with other members of the far-right group. Tarrio was not in Washington, D.C. on January 6th after his arrest in connection with the burning of a Black Lives Matter banner that they stole from a church here in Washington, D.C., as he was banned from the city by a judge the day before the attack. Shane Lamond, 47, was indicted on 1 count of obstruction of justice and 3 counts of making false statements, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia said Friday. A federal grand jury charged that Lamond obstructed the investigation into the burning of a Black Lives Matter banner on December 12, 2020, when the Proud Boys were roaming the streets of Washington, D.C. for a pro-Trump event. Between July 2019 and January 2020, Tarrio and Lamond communicated at least 500 times using cloud-based messaging services, including Google Voice, Apple iMessages, and Telegram, and encrypted messaging application, the indictment said. They sent at least 145 messages using a secret chat function on Telegram that causes messages to disappear, the indictment charged. This is alarming for one thing, in that it's not just like he had an email address that he was emailing him. iMessages. He has his phone number. He has other means of communicating, some surreptitious, some to conceal what was said. So that indicates to me he knew it was a problem. He knew he was communicating with a traitor to our country, a lawbreaker, a convicted felon, this lieutenant, this officer of the law. Lamond was in communication with Tarrio about the Black Lives Matter banner investigation and advised Tarrio that he told another unit within the Metropolitan Police Department, trying to convince them that the Proud Boys weren't racist, the indictment said. After the January 6th attack, now listen to this. This is after the attack. After the attack on the United States Capitol that resides in the city that this individual works for, we all witnessed what took place: the carnage, the violence, the attack, the assault on our democracy, the treason we witnessed, the insurrection. And instead of being horrified and correcting his behavior and his attitudes about the people he's associating with, he doubles down, this lieutenant from the Metropolitan Police Department here in Washington, D.C. After the January 6th attack, Lamond and Tarrio continued communicating, with Tarrio telling Lamond he thought, quote, he could have stopped this whole thing, meaning the Capitol attack, in another message cited by the indictment. Lamond said on January 8th that he hoped that none of the Proud Boys would be arrested, according to the indictment. And then finally, of course, I can't say it officially, Lamond told Tarrio, but personally, I support you all and don't want to see your group's name or reputation dragged through the mud. There is no way that this Lamond character, this Washington, D.C. police lieutenant, had these attitudes, harbored these attitudes about a clearly white supremacist organization, and nobody knew. It just defies logic and reason that you get to the rank of lieutenant after having spent years and years and years and years on the job, and nobody knows. You talk to your buddies. You have drinks after work. You socialize like you do with any job. Think about the jobs you've had in your life and how easily you're able to identify the assholes, how easily you're able to identify the problem coworkers that you have. It might not rise to the level of white supremacy, but you know. So the problem doesn't just lie with one rogue lieutenant who happened to fly under the radar for many years. It is an endemic problem all across the police department here in Washington, D.C. There are sympathies for radicals. We have a problem in the United States of America all across the board, from Boise, Idaho, and their recently outed white supremacist, now retired Matthew Bringleson, to this dipshit. We have a problem in America that you must wake up to. I know many of you are on board. You get it. But too many people are willing just to go along to get along, or get along to go along, or whatever the phrase is. What do you think about this 17-page, 4-count felony indictment of Police Lieutenant Lamond here in Washington, D.C.? You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. As always, you can email me the old-fashioned way, daily@dollemore.com. I would appreciate your support. If you are into it, if you want to help support my work, produce my work, you can become a channel member. You can give a super chat by clicking the button, or you can go to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. I'm getting ready to have the temporary crown fixed. It's clicking. It's very distracting. Hopefully it's just for me. But I'm including you now as I click into the mic. I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Until I do, with a new temporary crown or a fixed one, be genuine. Take care of one another.